You ever finally sit down, like really sit down, and that's the exact moment someone yells your name from the other room?
Oh, yeah, every time. It's like the universe knows. The second I get comfortable, someone needs a snack, the dog's barking, or my phone's ringing.
Exactly. And that's what this podcast is all about. Those little moments between chaos and calm, where you're just trying to breathe, but life keeps happening.
Welcome to I Just Sat Down, the podcast for moms, women, and multitaskers who do it all and somehow still manage to laugh about it.
I'm Desi, mom, entrepreneur, serial enthusiast, and fully committed to figuring it out as I go.
And I'm Crystal, multi-passionate entrepreneur, mom of chaos, coffee enthusiast, and believer that a good laugh can fix almost anything.
Every week, we're diving into the messy middle of life: parenting, work, relationships, identity, all the real, unfiltered stuff that no one warned us about.
We'll share stories, a few hard truths, and definitely some laughs, because if we can't laugh through it, we might just cry instead.
So, whether you're listening in the car, hiding in the bathroom, or actually lucky enough to sit down,
Grab your coffee and let's get into it. Welcome to I Just Sat Down. Hi, friends, and welcome back to I Just Sat Down. We're so happy you're here. I'm Crystal, here with Desi.
hi.
Desi. And today we're sitting down to chat about friendships in motherhood. Okay, so really just friendships in general, but we'll dive into how motherhood changes those relationships. And I'm super excited for this episode because I think it's just so relatable. You know, even if you don't have kids, you probably have friends who have kids. So you're going to experience changes in within those friendships throughout your entire life, right? And I think when we become moms, our priorities shift as they should. And this is where the dynamic in a lot of our friendships change, right? So, first, before we dive into this episode, I really wanted to read two little blurbs about how I am or we are personally as a friend. So, I asked my chat bestie and she obviously delivered. So I'm going to read about what it's like to be friends with an Aries. So I want to read Aries in friendship and what it's really like. And you guys, this was so good that I obviously did Desi's too. So Aries in friendship. So being friends with an Aries means you're getting someone fiercely loyal, wildly protective, and unapologetically real. Aries friends are bold and passionate. We don't do surface level well. If you're in our circle, we care deeply, loudly, and with our whole heart. Aries are the friends who hype you up, defend you, and push you to go after what you want, even when you're scared to do. We're natural leaders in friendships, often the planner, the initiator, and the one who says the things everyone else is thinking but doesn't want to admit. We thrive on honesty, energy, and emotional authenticity. If something feels off, we feel it before it's spoken, and yes, we'll probably address it head on. Sometimes that passion can come off as intense, but it is rooted in love and loyalty. As an Aries friend, we show up with fire. We'll celebrate your wins like they're our own, protect your name in rooms you're not in, and stand firmly beside you when things get messy. But we also need friendships that respect our independence, our boldness, and our need to recharge in our own way. We're not the type to slowly fade. We either fight for the connection or we walk away once our energy no longer feels valued. And when you're loved by an Aries, you're loved fiercely, fearlessly, and forever. You
Oh my
guys,
God.
I literally read that and I was like, okay, I've never felt more like an Aries in my life. I
Yeah.
was researching doing this episode and I was just thinking like how do I explain like how I am as a friend? So I thought this like literally explains me perfectly. I think I could send this to any one of my friends and they'd be like, yes. So I'm gonna read yours. Because
Okay.
when I read this, I was like, oh my God, that's so Desi. But I hope that you feel the same way. Okay. So, Libra in friendships and what it's really like. So, being friends with a Libra feels like safe space energy. Libras are the peacekeepers, the listeners, the ones who make you feel instantly seen and understood. In friendships, they lead with empathy, fairness, and connection, and they genuinely care about how everyone feels. Libras are the friends who remember the little things, check in just because, and try to create harmony wherever they go. They're naturally thoughtful and emotionally intuitive, often sensing tension before it erupts and working quietly to restore balance. But don't mistake their softness for weakness. Libras have strong boundaries and a deep sense of justice. If a friendship feels one sided, unkind, or out of alignment, they will slowly pull away to protect their peace, even if that takes courage. I know. In friendships, Libras crave deep connection, but also fear conflict. They want everyone to feel okay, sometimes even at the expense of their own needs. They're the mediators, the late night talkers, the ones who replay conversations wondering if they said the right thing. When you love a Libra, you're held gently but deeply. They will celebrate your growth, create safe emotional space, and bring beauty and calm into your world. But they need reassurance, emotional safety, and reciprocity. Because when Libras feel appreciated, they pour love endlessly into the people they trust. To be loved by a Libra is to be understood without needing to over explain.
Wow.
Right?
Wow. You could
Okay.
have just said, tell me about Desi. Because yeah, it's
I
very
know.
spot on. And we love an Aries. Like Libra and Aries are actually opposites on the zodiac. So like we are like matches. We are a match. Like they say that a Libra would be a good match with an Aries and vice versa because we're the opposites and we feed each other in certain ways. Um,
Interesting.
yeah, we either add like because we're air and you're fire, so we either
Yes.
fuel the fire or we're able to put it out. Right? Corey's a
Okay.
Leo, so it works that way also. He's also
Amazing. No,
yeah.
it's honestly, that was like my first try both times with my chat bestie. Literally fucking nailed it. Like I was like, excuse me.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, let's
It
dive into
definitely
this episode.
it definitely explains a lot. Um
Yes,
Things that I've learned over time that I could say, "Oh my gosh, yes, I agree to that." Not, "Oh, I'm learning this for the first time about myself."
absolutely. Like when it talks about how like for Aries, like we either fight for the connection or walk away when there's
Yeah.
like no energy. Like that hit because I definitely have had friendships in my life where I'm just like, hey, you know what? This just isn't working. Like this is just not our time. And like friendships are cool because sometimes they, come back around, right? With different stages of life and all of that. And sometimes they don't. And that's okay.
And when they come back around, I call those lessons unlearned.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's so true, right? Like you're just like, okay, why is this person being brought back into my life?
Yeah. And then you're a little
I
more
think,
guarded on based on how it was ending the first time or whatever. Or you're not dumb, but you're just like naive to the fact that you feel that you miss that connection and you're like, "Oh god, they're back. Okay, let's try this again. Hopefully everything goes great." And then yeah,
right,
sometimes you do that journey again and you're like, "Okay, so this is what I had to learn from this the second time around. Okay, lesson learned. Let's not get burnt a third time."
right. I mean, sometimes it's a beautiful thing, right? Like sometimes somebody comes back into your life because, you weren't at the same stage of life,
Right.
right? And now you are. So I think that's such a cool thing with friendships, but also like going back to like losing a friendship, like I feel like you really have to grieve that friendship sometimes. Like it's the craziest thing that you actually have to like go through those processes of grieving with an actual friendship
Mm-hmm.
when it's just not working anymore, you know?
Yeah. I was watching Secret Lives of Mormon Wives last night. And
Always.
not the first time it was said, but just as a reminder, Whitney was talking about how like friendships can sometimes be harder to grieve than actual like boyfriend, girlfriend, spousal relationships because you put so much time and effort into this person that you're like, wow, I've never had a relationship like this. There's no sexual chemistry. There's like more effort that you're putting into this relationship because it's not just based on like, you know, having a chemical or physical attraction to somebody. You're having this bonding with somebody who like you now trust and you've put your heart into, or you've trusted with like your traumas and stuff like that, and they've nurtured you. And
Right.
then then you start to kind of put up with things that maybe you wouldn't, like a healthy version of yourself wouldn't put up with, because you're like, I love this person, I trust this person, I want to be there for this person as much as I can. And even though they keep showing you these signs of like they're over the relationship and you're just like this pick me, pick me, pick me girl, like for a friendship, that you're finally like, what the fuck am I doing? Like,
Yeah. And it
if
can
they're
be
not picking
so
you.
emotionally exhausting, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
being in that and being in, just this relationship that just is like not working, or if it's like really one-sided, that can always make things more difficult as well.
Yeah. I actually did an
So,
episode with a podcast episode with a friend of mine a couple years ago. And it was like, it was called Friendship Breakups. And I'm like, why am I so good at this now? Like, why am I so good at French? I was always like, not to like gloat or like toot my own horn, but like, I was always like very, like, oh gosh, how do I even like say that? I was really good at letting people go when I was younger, because anytime that I'd get in a relationship, I would move on quickly. I wouldn't stick around for long, so enough that they could hurt me.
right.
And I got really, really good at like breaking up with guys, because I just didn't, I had different boundaries back then where I was like, I'm good. You served your purpose. I'm okay to move on. And then Corey's the only person who I felt like I never wanted to do that with. I always felt super like strong connection with him. I felt very safe with him, all of the things. I feel like he was like, the meant to be. Um, but then in relationships after him, I was like, okay, like I'm a long-term relationship girly now. Like this is what I want. And I feel like even with my friendships, I started to try to have these different like respect, not respect for them, but like I had these different like feelings towards them where I was like, okay, this is my friend and I don't need any other friends. This is the person I'm putting all of my time and effort into now, and I don't need anybody else. And like we weren't the first in our friend group to have kids. So I learned how to, like, what I wanted to and what I didn't want to do as a mother through those friendships as well. Once I
Right.
had kids, I realized that my kids and your kids don't blend well together. And that's something that as a mother you have to be like, it was hard. It was a lesson that like was a strain on me for years, where I was like trying to hang on to these relationships because it was my best friend for so long. But then I noticed that like I don't like the way that you're parenting your kids, because your kids are not nice to my kids and I need to
Right.
protect my kids. So
Yeah.
then at some point you're just like, I think it's okay to say that we've grown apart. I think it's okay to just let this one go. And I wish you all the best. I still have so much love for you in the long run. And like, I think about you all the time in positive mindset or whatever. But I feel so good that we've gone our separate ways.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to be able to like have this conversation with yourself or with your spouse to be like, long term, are these the people that we want our lives to be like? Like
Yeah.
when you see other couples and they're fighting over stupid shit all the time, and you're like, this is some energy that like it's exhausting. I don't want to be around this every fucking time we go out for dinner or
Right.
whatever else, right? You have to pick and choose carefully the kind of people that you want your kids looking up to, right?
Yeah.
There's so many different aspects of like the adult in the room. Can
For
we
sure.
trust them? Are they getting drunk and getting in their car and driving? Are they, what kind of things are they teaching our kids that they think is okay to do because of their own wounds, right? And then you have to have those conversations with your kids and being like, yep, he's an idiot. Like,
Yep, straight up. And I mean, like, friendships come and go, and I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think
yeah.
we change, therefore, the people who surround us and everything like that, like, they change too.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes our friendships are going to change, right? I
Yeah.
also think that for me, like, motherhood was a great place for me to meet new friends
Mm-hmm.
because I was one of the last ones to start having, like, some of my friends were on baby number two or just about to be when I
Yeah.
was just having baby number one. So the dynamics in those friendships definitely changed. Like, I remember sometimes, we would go out to dinner and everyone would just be talking about their kids. And I'm like, cool, but like, can't
Yeah.
relate.
Yeah.
So,
That's hard. That's like
that's
when old friends get together and you're like, I didn't go to school with you. I have no idea who you're talking about. Like you're just like,
right.
what is
Right?
this? Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So sometimes that was a little weird. I mean, I think too, like they recognize that a little bit. So, we didn't always just talk about the kids, but I try and remember that feeling now when I'm with any friends that, don't have kids. Like, hey, they don't want to hear about the new preschool and this and that. And like they do, like they're interested, but like let's keep it, to a minimum. I'm not going
Yeah,
to
they
sit there and
yeah.
talk about him the entire time we're out for dinner and then at the very end be like, "How are you?"
And they
You're
definitely
trying to
don't want to hear about like their rash or when they threw up or like,
yeah,
things that are disgusting that we as mothers have normalized because this is our everyday life, but
100%.
they don't want to hear
You
it.
know what though? It's really funny though because the couple of friends that I have met and made in motherhood specifically, like sometimes I look at those friendships and I feel like we've been friends for years and we haven't. We've only been friends for just under 3 years, right? Which
Mm-hmm.
is sometimes crazy to me, but I think that motherhood is such a bonding experience, especially when you have kids who are the exact same age. You're going through those same trials, same struggles, sleep regressions. You're in it at the exact same time. And like, there's just such that different bonding experience, I think, that I really wish that for all new moms. Like
Mm-hmm.
I wish you go out to the early on centers or like I did yoga, like those things, those places where you can meet those people in the same stages. And I know I've talked about this a little bit before, but I just think it's so important. Like I would ask my friends questions and they wouldn't be able to answer me because their kids weren't in those stages.
Mm-hmm.
So those friendships I think now are just so important, right? Because you just have that ability to get that feedback of like where you are in life right now,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, you
But
forget as they get older, like the different stages of baby. And you're like, when you're going
yeah,
through it, you're like, I'm going to absorb this moment because I never want to forget it. And like me now, I'm like, videos come up and I was watching a video the other day and I was like teaching my son how to spell his name using the bingo song, like
love it.
Bingo, but
Yep.
spelling his name. And it was a video of him doing it. And I'm like, oh, like, yeah, it's nice that I have the videos because I wouldn't have remembered that. It wouldn't have came up. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I get that you're in that like survival mode
Mm-hmm.
for those first like few years, but that's really where those other friendships change. So for those friends that you have in your, in your 20s or whenever you have babies, but like you have those friendships in your 20s where you can literally be selfish and be like, hey, like it's, 5 o'clock on a Friday night. Let's go out for dinner. Let's go get drinks at the bar. Like those things come to a screeching halt when you have kids. So those friends who don't, like those dynamics just change so much
Mm-hmm.
because it's hard for them to understand, Like, I mean, we get it. We understand you had a baby. You can't do spontaneous things, but sometimes it's like, okay, well, like, oh, you can't come out to dinner until 7:30 because you have to put the kids to bed. Like, do you not have a spouse to do that? Like sometimes I just didn't understand
Mm-hmm.
why these friends couldn't make a plan and like stick to it. And then now I think about like there was times when like it was either me putting him to bed or he would be screaming at the top of his lungs
Mm-hmm.
asking for me. And it's like I'd rather just stay home, put him to bed and come to dinner at 7:30 so
Yeah.
that it's just we're keeping the peace in here.
Just a
But
different perspective. Yeah.
yeah, it really is just a different perspective on those friendships. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know. I just, I think it's really amazing to see how those friendships have changed. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
have friends who I've literally been friends with since our bar days,
Yeah.
since
Oh, yeah.
our going out on Tuesday and Thursday and Friday and Saturday in the same
Right.
week. To now us all just going to a birthday party on Sunday morning. right?
And
At a
like,
play place.
are there things that you feel like, not necessarily tips, but like anything that you feel like helped you through the grieving process of letting friends go that you felt like you could no longer have in your life? Because for me, like, my relationships, yes, I learned to just kind of let go of certain ones that I felt were no longer right for me. But when it was on the opposite end and I had no control over it, that would like rip me apart. Like I had a full year of like as if the person literally died because I was grieving them so hard and I didn't understand, and like they didn't really explain to me why they stopped talking to me after a while, or like what the distance was and stuff like that. And we've since had a conversation because we are still in each other's lives a little bit more now, but that breakup process between this person and myself, it was like that was my equal to Corey. That was my person who like I was like, gosh, do I leave him and go with this person? Like half the time because they just understood me on a different level than he did at that time when we were going through a really hard time in our relationship. This was my person. And it was like now I'm on that other end of things where like I don't explain to people if you fucked up and I don't want you in my life anymore, I owe you nothing.
And you
So
need to figure it out and work through it
yeah.
and self.
Yeah. And it's not even like that. Like I'm happy to explain how I'm feeling about things like that, but like because I know the pain of going through that, I'm happy to have those conversations if they're warranted. But if you have somebody who's constantly like again like Whitney off of that show, if you have somebody who doesn't like own up to their side of things, and I'm
Right.
trying to like express to you how I'm feeling, what I'm going through, and you don't hear me, I will stop explaining. I will never like write a paragraph in a text message to stick up for myself. There's just things that I personally would never do because it's fucking exhausting and I just can't do it. Um, but yeah, now I'm on the other side of things and I feel like I don't explain myself to people. So I can, my perspective on that is okay, she was probably going through something that she didn't like that part of me in her life. I was very much a don't do that, don't touch that, don't da 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 da. Like I was always on edge and
Yeah.
whatever else. That maybe she was just like, holy fuck, shut up, and didn't want to explain that to me. Like you never know. And I look back now and I'm like, I get it, and I actually don't care anymore about what the reasoning was because it took me so long to like absorb and grieve that I'm okay with the decisions that were made. And the fact that there was no conversation there, I felt like I was not valued enough to have that conversation with. And now I know where I stand in the end of that relationship. And I can be, I can still love those people,
Mhm.
have a place in my heart for them to be there when they need me, or whatever the case might be in life. If it comes to me, I'm very much like on a spiritual level where if something comes to me, that's when I have to figure out in that moment how I want to deal with this. Do I want to, be there? Do I want to have that space and say, oh, I appreciate the offer, but I'm okay, you know?
Right. I think I've definitely had friendships that I just hard stopped. And I was like, you know what? This just isn't working. I'm hearing things maybe behind the scenes of, he said, she said. And I just kind of was like, you know what? I don't have the energy to deal with this anymore. I'm not going to.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of hard stopped it. Did that affect some other friendships? Probably in that process because, you know, we had a pretty like close group. So I think like dynamics and like some friendships kind of shifted a little bit. At the time, I was just so, no, thank you. This is not working for me. You're talking about me behind my back, asking questions and never reaching out to me and asking me those questions. So I'm going to end this friendship here. And now I'm like, it's not even, I'm not even really 100% sure, like, where I kind of drew that line. It was just kind of like, I don't have the energy for this. I'm out. And then now I'm that kind of person that like, if you want to come to dinner with the whole group, like I'm not going to be like, oh, this fucking
Mm-hmm.
chick. Like I'm never going to do that. I don't care. You'll know if you say something in a room with me and I don't like it,
Mm-hmm.
you'll see it because they'll be all over this face. Like, so, but I'm not someone that really holds grudges. Like I could be mad at you and be like, "What's up, girl? How are you?"
Yeah.
And I'll just
Civil
fake it.
and polite.
Yeah, like I think maybe with my job, I've kind of learned that a little bit. Like,
Mm.
it doesn't matter how I'm feeling or, what I'm doing, whether it's mad, happy, sad, I still have to show up as professional and like I can bring that into my everyday life. Not saying that I will fake it all the time because like I don't, like I said, I really can't because it just shows all over my face. But
Yeah.
I think it really just came down to different phases of life, And sometimes like I've always been a relationship girly, like long-term relationship girly. Like I'm a serial monogamous, if that's what
Mm.
you want to call it. Like I was always with people for long stretches. Like my high school boyfriend, I was with him for like 7 years,
Wow.
So like it's always just been long term. So I think for me, I've always had that guy to kind of not fall back on, but have that security of having that person.
Hmm.
So I have someone to go out with, I have someone to do things with, So if you're being a piece of shit friend, I'm done. I'm
I'm
out.
gonna go see my other
I'm gonna
bestie.
go. If we're not in the same season of life and it's just
Yeah.
not working, like there's only so much effort I can put into it. I will put effort in, especially if it's like a friendship that, is has been around for a really long time. Like I'm gonna try like hell to make that work. But sometimes you don't get that back, right? And
Yeah.
sometimes that's just like where you have to kind of say, okay, it's fine, we can just go our separate ways. So,
My
and
problem is I still read into that shit. Like whenever I put in that effort in a friendship now, because as you get older, your time is different. Your time is
mm,
precious. Your priorities change. I'd rather hang out with my kids over anybody, let's be honest. But the fact that like when I do put in that effort, if I make that effort on a Monday afternoon to send a message to be like, hey, just wanted to check in, see how you're doing, and I don't get the reciprocation back, or like we have a quick little chat and then months go by and like I haven't heard from you kind of thing. I'm not like if I'm not gonna I can't consistently be the only one starting the conversation or like trying to
yes.
make the plans or whatever. So I just and it's nothing against the person. Like I just get we're in different stages of life and like if we can connect again in a couple of years, great. Like I'm not gonna
Right.
like hold this side of it against them. But yes, if I'm putting in too much effort on my end and not receiving it like reciprocation, then I feel like I just gently let that person I remove them from my pinned text messages and now you're in the sea of everybody else.
Yeah. And honestly, like I have friendships that I know I don't maybe put the right amount of effort in, but I think too, like we're just in those different seasons of life. And if we text, we'll text this big long thing like, here's my life update. Love you. Still always thinking about you.
Yeah.
Um, we'll chat again in 6 months. Like
Yeah.
that's literally the
That's
friendship that
true.
I have with someone. And
Yeah.
and that being said, if she texts me out of the blue, a month after we did our life update and said, I need you, everything drops and I'm
Yeah.
gone. So there's definitely just those types of friendships. I mean, she lives super far away. That doesn't help, right?
Mhm.
Because I'm a face-to-face girly. Like I want to see you. I want to connect with you. I want to see you in person. And my cousin moved to Florida and I mean, she still is one of my best friends, but I missed her when she moved away. And she's always kind of lived far, but we always made a real good effort to like get together. Obviously, she's got older kids, so they just sometimes didn't work out, but we always kind of stayed in touch. But when she moved to Florida, it was like, man, now she's like really gone. And like, I can't just be like, hey, let's get together, I
Mhm.
physically have to get on a plane, fly my ass out there, which I have done.
Yeah.
But, like, I mean, I've flown a lot of places for that friendship. One of them being all the way across the world to Australia when she went. So we've always, I mean, we're cousins, so like we have that connection as well. But um, it's just it's amazing to me that some friendships just like hold strong no matter what. Like we cannot speak for so long and get together, and it's like nothing
Mhm.
ever happened. I should say that she has traveled for me too. We met in Nashville, so she definitely helps the. And that's the thing, right? You need to have that back and forth. You need to have effort on both sides, when
100%, yeah.
it's available, right? So
Mhm. It's definitely important to have that fine balance and not having that guilt of like, oh, it's been forever or whatever. Like I have a friend of mine who
I
lives in the
definitely have that
States.
guilt.
Right. Well, maybe it's just normal then. Like maybe that's
Yeah,
just a
it
normal
is
thing.
normal. I
Yeah.
have that guilt of being like, oh my God, like I haven't talked to this person in so long. I am the worst fucking friend ever.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you find that you have like bitterness when you let go of the friendships and relationships and stuff like that though? Or do you feel like you are pretty good at just like, again, processing the fact that it's no longer meant for you and that's
Yeah,
okay? And
I
you're not
think
gonna
I'm
like flip
okay
them
with
off
like
when you see them.
yeah, no, I think I'm okay with like the seasons,
Yeah.
like and I think too like one amazing thing with social media is that like I can still be like, "Hey girl, like you look amazing," or, be like, "Oh my gosh, like I wish I was in Mexico." Like you can still have
Mhm.
those quick connections with people that, maybe used to be a huge part of your life and they're not so much anymore. You can
Yeah.
still reach out and be like, "Hey, like still always kind of thinking about you." You know what I mean? So, I
I get
think
those
social
messages
media
all the
has
time and they are very meaningful. Like I have people that I don't talk to anymore on a regular basis like I used to, and I'll get like
yeah,
that random message being like, "It's so nice to see you. It's so like when you
absolutely.
post a picture to your story, oh my gosh, I miss your face, I miss you, I miss your energy, whatever." And those are like the
Right.
best compliments to me. And I don't care if that is the extent of your ability to like reach out. If you're just like liking my story when you see that I'm out with the kids, or like something
I love it.
as simple as that, right?
Right. And that's the joy of social media is that it can be that simple, right? To
Yeah.
just be like,
Yeah, literally.
done.
Yeah.
That's
And
it. I did it.
I'm a serial liker. Like I will always like I'm like that person that people are like, "Oh, her again."
She's coming in hot, just
Yeah.
liking everything. She
And I
hasn't
don't
been
like
here
them
in a while.
all.
She's just
Yeah.
clicking down.
Yeah. And I don't like them all. I'll like the things that matter or that I'm like, "Oh, I love this for her," or whatever,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
do you find that it's harder to build friendships now in this like stage of life, or do you feel like it's easier depending on situation?
I think for me, like within my business, it's
Mhm.
so easy I'm constantly meeting new people. I'm constantly, and like, yes, obviously some people come in and are just a client. It's rare that they end up just being a client. But these are people that I get to see, once a year, twice a year sometimes, right? Every other year. I don't care if it's every 5 years.
Yeah.
I think that for me, I'm very lucky in just like having you know, I know so many people. I have a very wide friend group. Um, even people who have only ever been clients. We've only hung out at photo shoots. I still feel for you. If your dog dies, I'm literally messaging you crying. Like,
Mhm.
like you're still a part of my life.
Yeah.
And I think that's like maybe that's a little bit of the Aries in me. Like I'm just like, I'm that people person. I wanna hype everybody up, right? So I think for me, yeah, just in my business, I'm really lucky in being able to make friends fairly easily.
Mhm.
Do I go out with all my clients? No, not really. I really think that I'm so blessed in having such a core friend group. Love you girls if you're listening. And if you're not, fucking rude. Um,
Where are
but
you at?
where you at, girl? I think that yeah, I'm just so lucky in having the friendships that I do have. That, I'm not someone who's really like out there like actively looking.
Yeah.
for new friends, but I'm welcome. I'm welcome to it, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Like
yeah,
I'm grateful for our chats and stuff like that. Like I feel like a lot of my relationships now are very surface level, which is like kind of sad, but I try not to like look too deeply into it. I have a couple of friends who, again, same thing, like even if it is every 6 months, yes, like we do try to make that effort with each other. And like for me, because of the spiritual side of me, like those friendships that come to me and like the veil is lifted and they are looking at life in a different way and similar to how I look at life or whatever, it's like, okay, these are the relationships that I'm like trying to absorb and hang on to a little bit more because we have like a different way of seeing the world. Whereas like, yeah, a lot of the relationships are very much like, I don't know, like, hey, how's it going? And I'm very grateful that in this lifetime I've had a few of those solid relationships that meant something so much to me that when I had to grieve it, it was very hard to let go of. And that I've had the opportunity to have those relationships. Like I feel like that's such a special thing to have those things. And I always wanted a sister growing up, right? So like having that sister at some point in my life where it felt like that close relationship or whatever, I'm very grateful for those. I'm glad that I've been able to learn things through that and let them go as well. But yeah, definitely still like those friends from high school that you check in with every so often and chat with and
for sure.
try to make plans for dinner for like the last 5 years and at
Never
some point
happens.
eventually we will again and we know that when we do it's the same as always, no judgment,
Yeah,
no whatever, like oh my god, did you hear about so and so, some of that stuff still occurs in these relationships or whatever because
right.
well, we went to high school together, of course we're going to shit talk the people that we went to high school with. I mean,
Yeah.
that's not really who we are now, that's not the kind of people we are, but still a little bit of that here and there.
It's really cool because like in my business, I've actually been able to connect with a lot of people that, I went to high school with who have now invited me to like photograph their wedding or come and photograph their new baby. And like that to me is like full circle moments.
Mm-hmm.
I have a really hard time, working really hard at those weddings because I just want to catch up and I want to know how and I'm like, oh, I have to, I gotta go take these pictures.
Can't
Love
talk.
talking to you, but it was just really
Yeah.
cool to see those old friends and see where they're at now because that's like such a cool thing. And like yes, social media is great for that, but like not everybody's on social media. So sometimes it's like, "Oh
Right.
my God, like how are you?" And like it's been a long time since I've been
Mm.
in high school. We're not going to say exactly how, but so that's like a lot of years have passed. These people have, they're getting married, they're having kids. Like it's such a cool, like it's one of those things that like I'm never ungrateful in my business. Like it's pretty freaking incredible.
It is
I have
pretty
to say.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you want to do a couple quick rapid fire before we get cut off?
My God, can we? Yes.
Okay.
We have 3 minutes. Go.
Okay. Ideal girls' night, out or in?
Oh, out for sure. Like little fancy dinner. I'm in. Send me
Okay.
some wine. I'm good. Yeah.
I would say in. Like I'm the kind that like cozy on a couch and just chill and just chat. Um, One friend that motherhood made you appreciate more? Probably the mother.
Um, my mother.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that friendship there. Because like you just have such a you're like, holy shit. You
Yeah.
did this. Yeah.
Most mom thing that you've ever done in a friendship?
Most mom thing I've ever done in a friendship.
I feel like just like weeding out bad other friends, like other people that you're
Yeah.
like, why are you hanging out with her? She's
Yeah.
annoying. Like
Yeah.
she's bad for you. She's bad influence. Um, Something that you no longer apologize for in friendships.
Just being me. If you don't like it, bye.
For me, it's canceling. Like if I have to cancel or postpone or whatever, I'm not big on it. I'm big on following through if I make plans with somebody, no matter what. But I don't feel the guilt of like, oh, one of the kids is sick or, oh, I feel like shit,
Life
I don't want to
happens.
do it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Red flag in a mom friend.
Gentle parenting. No, I'm just kidding. That's a red flag. Yeah, I think a red flag would just be, yeah, if your parenting style is like way, way, way different than mine and it's affecting us, then that would be a red flag. But I don't really have that with anybody. You parent your
For
kid.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like one-sided relationships. So people that like want from you or expect you to do shit for them all the time. Always expect like if they're like, "Oh, hey, can you watch my kids?" then you're like, "Hey, can you watch my kids?" They're like, "No." Those one-sided relationships I feel like are huge red flags. And then green flag and mom friend
Someone who's willing, who understands.
doesn't
Like kind of
judge.
what you
Yeah.
said. Yeah, like if I have to cancel, they're like, okay, no problem. Like, see you next week.
Yeah. What something that makes you feel constantly or instantly connected to someone?
Um, oh God. I don't know. I think just like, if we vibe. I think having kids the same age is definitely an instant bonder just
Right.
because we're in the same season of life. It's going to be easy. We have lots to talk about. Yeah.
Okay. All right. On that note, I want to wrap this up before we get cut off. Thank you so much for listening today. We really appreciate you being here. And we've all been through tough relationship breakups, and we know that you're here with us, and we appreciate that. So thank you for being here. And we'll catch you on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye. Well, that went by fast. Kind of like every quiet moment we try to have in real life.
Right? I swear I just sat down and now it's already time to get back up again.
Story of our lives. But before we head back into the chaos, thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
We hope this episode made you laugh, think, or at least reminded you that you're not the only one trying to hold it all together.
Because none of us really have it figured out. We're all just doing our best, one cup of coffee and one deep breath at a time.
If you enjoyed this episode, hit that follow or subscribe button so you never miss when we finally get to sit down again.
And share it with a friend who could use a little reminder that it's okay to take a break, because she deserves it too.
You can find us over on Instagram and TikTok at ijustsatdown.podcast. We love hearing from you, your stories, your wins, and even your "you won't believe what happened to me today" moments.
Next week, we're diving into what's rapid fire.
It's going to be a good one, so get comfy because by the time you finally sit down, we'll be right here with you.